Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video where I am going to be painting on this trinket dish that I got from everyone's favorite store, which is Target. I'm very excited for this one. I'm going to be using Posca pens to complete this painting today. Before I begin, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's see what I can come up with. This is actually not one of my first rodeos. I've actually painted on this before. If you want to see that video, check it out after this one. But for this, I have a different plan in mind. For the first one, I used just acrylic paint and a paintbrush, but for this, I wanted to use my Posca pens. My idea, as you might already be able to tell, is to do Nintendo characters on this one. I want it to be an RTV living room area, so I thought this would be the perfect place since we play games there, and it would just be really fun to add to the area. So I decided for this to do little Nintendo characters, mainly featuring artist Kirby, my favorite version of Kirby. So I'm starting off by coloring in him pink with this pastel pink Posca, and of course I've got to add his little blush mark. I wasn't sure at first if I was going to add in other colors of acrylic paint to this or not, or if I was just going to stick to Poscas, but I really wanted to challenge myself to stick to the Posca pens and use that, and I also wanted to do that kind of art style where it's a little more simplified and a little more graphic art-like, so that's what I went with. I decided to do a little rainbow theme as well with this one and make a little rainbow that swooshed around the whole art piece. And I thought that was really fun, and I loved to incorporate all of these colors. A happy little accident happened, and I accidentally used pastel pink for the purple color of the rainbow, but it actually works out really well because I needed to use the pastel purple somewhere else later. So actually it was kind of a good thing that I messed up, and you just gotta roll with the punches. But now it's time to color in this other little guy, which if you couldn't tell up here on the top, I put in Raichu. I wanted to do artist Kirby, and then I wanted to put in another Nintendo character, so I asked my husband what his favorite Pokemon was, and he said Raichu, which is perfect, so I chose to do the Alolan Raichu so he could be surfing on his little surfboard on top of the rainbow, and it worked out really well, and they went really well together. And then I colored in the entire background purple, which was crazy and took a long time. And then I went in with yellow and added stars to the background of the art piece. I love that I challenged myself to do this style of art because I think it turned out really well, and here's where that little happy accident came into play here. I was able to use the pastel purple for the clouds, and it still contrasted a little bit with the quote-unquote purple that was in the last color of the rainbow there, so it worked out really well, and I decided to outline everything. I don't have a thin enough black Posca pen to do that, so I took my tiny little mini paintbrush and I decided to outline everything with some black acrylic paint. So here's some close-up shots of all of that happening. It took a lot of time, and it was very challenging for me to keep my hands steady, but it was good practice, and I still think it turned out really well, and it was a lot of fun. I forgot to mention that I also put another little Nintendo character at the bottom here. If you recognize him, he's also from Kirby, and he's gooey, and me and my husband love him because he's just like kind of overpowered for no reason and kind of just looks like a potato, so it's kind of fun to put him in there just as honestly as kind of a joke, but he's awesome. We just think he's funny. And then I decided to outline all of the characters, which I was kind of scared to do because it's a very important part obviously of the piece, but it turned out good, and again I just rolled with it. I added blush to the little Raichu, and I decided to be a little more artistically creative here and add in a couple of brush strokes that were kind of sporadic to add in some shading and just to add in some extra textures on this, and I felt like it helped bring it to life a lot more. I had to keep adding in those lines, make everything outlined because I really liked how it contrasted everything and made it all pop. And then I decided that I should add in some white. Again, I don't have a small enough white Posca pen, so I took some white acrylic paint and decided to add some juicy highlights to everything that needed them to draw attention to things and to add a bit more contrast. I did that pretty much everywhere in the drawing just to make it a little more special, and then I added in some white dots everywhere for some extra stars, and I thought it was looking so good at this point. I was really happy. I kept messing with it here and there just to make sure everything was popped enough. I added this little sparkle and I added some white to the eyes because, as you can see, the color of the dish is not white. It's kind of like an off-white, so I wanted to make sure that everything that was showing just really popped off the page. I waited a day and then I decided to varnish it to make sure that my art was protected and nothing could happen to it. But this is how it turned out. I think it is so adorable and perfect for our living room, and I can't wait to put it out there and have it there to look at. I love Artist Kirby. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video. I had so much fun, and it was so much fun challenging myself to only use Posca pens for the colors in this piece. It was a lot of fun, very challenging, but I loved it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!